What are you doing? What do you need that scalpel for? Matthew shouted. Seeing my actions, his face instantly changed. Terrified, he tried to sit up to stop me, but the movement aggravated Sophie's injury. Sophie immediately screamed, "It hurt." "Matthew, what are you doing?" Matthew was in agony too, letting out several cries of pain before steadying himself. He looked at me and said, "What exactly is this surgical procedure you're talking about? Will it hurt me? And why is your scalpel so sharp? Don't touch me with it." I knew exactly what Matthew was worried about, so I deliberately said, "Your current situation is very dangerous. If you can't be separated quickly, it will affect your blood circulation and cause increased intracranial pressure. Both of you could be in mortal danger." "What? How is that possible?" Both of them questioned simultaneously, staring at me with wide eyes, their faces full of disbelief. I shrugged, pretending to be nonchalant. "Don't you even know this basic medical fact? To completely separate two people who are stuck together, you have to sacrifice certain parts of one of them." "What do you mean by that?" Matthew asked. His face changed instantly, and he pointed at me excitedly. "I'm a man. If you dare touch my manhood, I'll never forgive you." I spread my hands. "You should be saying that to your true love." Sophie's face also completely changed at this point. She turned to look at Matthew. "Matthew, I'm a woman. If something gets cut off me, how can I still be a woman?" After hearing this, Matthew immediately started sweet-talking Sophie. He said, "Don't worry, Sophie. As soon as the surgery is over, I'll divorce Elizabeth and marry you. No matter what you look like, I'll still want you." Sophie's face looked terrible. She clenched her hands in two fists. "But, doctor, prepare for surgery immediately," Matthew shouted. He glared up at me, his eyes full of threat. Matthew said, "If you can't even perform such a simple surgery properly, I'll file a complaint against you." Before he could finish speaking, Sophie had already grabbed the anesthesia needle nearby and jabbed it directly into Matthew. Matthew cried out once and quickly lost consciousness. Only then did I remember that Sophie was also a nursing major, so using an anesthesia needle was child's play for her. After administering the injection, Sophie looked at me. She said, "He's unconscious now. I'm the only conscious patient, so you have to listen to me. I demand that the surgical procedure prioritize my health completely. If something has to be removed, then remove him." Sophie was both anxious and uneasy, urging me to agree. I shrugged and had the nurse bring over the surgical consent form. I said, "Fine. Then sign this consent form, so you won't regret it after the surgery is over." Sophie quickly signed. I didn't say anything more and soon had the anesthesiologist inject Sophie with anesthesia as well. Then began the surgery. Several hours passed quickly, and the surgery was finally nearing its end. With a plop, I threw the removed item into the surgical tray. The surgery was officially over. At this point, Matthew's anesthesia was also wearing off. He groggily opened his eyes and asked, "My important parts are intact, right?" I raised an eyebrow and said with a cold smile, "Of course they are." Matthew breathed a sigh of relief and said smugly in his dazed state, "Good. Sophie loves my manhood the most." Loves it the most? How should I tell him that it was Sophie who personally signed the consent form for me to remove his manhood? Just thinking about Matthew's reaction when he fully woke up and learned this news made me want to laugh. I quickly finished the post-surgical procedures and had the nurses take them back to their room. Before long, Matthew was fully conscious. Upon opening his eyes and seeing the nurse, his first reaction was to ask, "Was the surgery successful? Am I okay? Is my manhood completely intact?" The nurse, knowing the surgical procedure, thought he was being sarcastic, so she rolled her eyes. "Your life is obviously saved. Otherwise how would you still be here talking?" Matthew breathed another sigh of relief, then raised his hand to touch the wound, but the nurse stopped him. "Don't move around. Your wound was just stitched up. You can't touch it with your hands or it'll get infected." Matthew smiled. "What do you know? That's my manhood. I have to see it with my own eyes to feel at ease." The nurse was stunned for a moment. "See what? Didn't your girlfriend already sign the consent form agreeing to have it removed?" "What?" Matthew's face went pale with shock.